Hello again, everyone. I'm Nesbitt, you're the People of Skyrim. Okay, let's get on with some housekeeping first off. Before we get into the legacy of the Dragonborn, just to let you know, with the mod, the Beth INI, I've altered my settings so I've got no grass loaded for the game. I can't stand grass mods. From my point of view, there isn't one decent one out there. And all they do is, there's grass everywhere. You need to have so much patchwork done so they don't interfere with the other mods or even the vanilla game. It's just not worth the hassle. So what I've done is I've actually removed grass from this playthrough, and I've deployed Wine Dave's landscape textures. So it's like a normal grass without tundra-based, long flowing grass everywhere, covering everything up. So I've gone with that. When we get into the gallery here, we're now approaching the Dragonborn Gallery. Okay, I'm just checking the grounds out here. But once we get into the parts where there's that interaction with the NPC, I'm just going to let that play out, and then I'm going to come back in once that's done and carry on with some more chat about the legacy of the Dragonborn, about the 10-year Skyrim anniversary, my work, where we're going with these playthroughs, with mod pack collections and stuff like that, and lots of other stuff as well. So I'll see you on the other side of this exchange, and we'll carry on from there.
I'm sorry, can I help you? The museum is currently closed until further notice. Well, you do look the adventuring sort. Perhaps you can. You see, we are in need of a vast array of relics to display here at the museum. And I'm afraid that the mercenaries and treasure hunters I've hired thus far have proven to be more trouble than they are worth.
Perhaps I can give you a chance, however. If you can bring me a few artifacts I'm looking for, I'll pay you for them. If you prove to be successful at retrieving these relics for me, perhaps we can discuss some other opportunities I may have for you.
Excellent. Well, first and foremost, I'd like to get my hands on one of the 6th House Bellhammers of the House of Dagoth. They have become increasingly rare. One apparently was stolen recently by some bandits, apparently held up in Broken Helm Hollow.
Another item was stolen from a local collector by the Silent Moon bandits. The item is known as Denstagma's Ring. It's likely still in the hideout west of Whiterun, if they haven't fenced it yet, that is. And lastly, a small shipment of Arkaviri relics is on its way across Skyrim, bound for Markarth. Amongst the items were some jade carvings. The caravan, however, was attacked by Forsworn, and it's likely they may be in possession of some of the relics. Find what you can, and I'll pay you well for it.
So this being said about the grass, I've removed the grass, as I said, and it's the only thing that I've actually done in terms of major changes, for the landscape. Like I said, I've got Wine Dave's landscape textures and others too. And in this playthrough, I'm running lots and lots of different mods. You'll better see them. If you're a game player of Skyrim, you're gonna, even if you're on Xbox, you're gonna have an idea of what's being run here. Even if you don't get them on Xbox, if you're part of the community and so on. And PlayStation, you may have less knowledge of what's being used here. But at this particular moment in this playthrough, I'm just getting geared up before I start the questing section. So I'm buying some armor. I'm not using my usual cheats. I'm still going to cheat. I've got plenty of coin.
Need something?
And I'm going to buy some glass armor here. So yeah, I'm still cheating, but I'm not using my normal testing setup. As a mod author testing his work. I'm going to play this Legacy of the Dragonborn as it is. I'm not going to deploy too many cheats. If I die, I die. I'm not going to take any followers, not at the moment. And what I want to do is give this mod, the Legacy of the Dragonborn, a real good test with the People of Skyrim 2 V10. There's no clashes between the mods in terms of references, cells, or anything else. Okay, so that should be this should be unproblematic. And I'm going to play the whole quest, of the Legacy of the Dragonborn through over the next few months. I'm also deploying shorts of this, so if you don't want, if you want to see a little bit of the Legacy of the Dragonborn, or you want to know a little bit more about it before you play it, you've never played it before, then you can see the shorts
Yes.
that I've put up
Take
on
a
my
look.
YouTube channel. Okay. Now, Ice Cream Assassin is the author of this mod of Legacy of the Dragonborn, and it's considered by many to be one of the best Skyrim Special Edition questing mods out there, and maybe one of the best questing mods of the 10 years from the community. I'm gonna stay away from my viewpoints on that. I think it's an extremely good mod, and I will let other people judge that themselves. I just want to make sure that it works okay with TPS 2 V10 in preparation for these mod packs on Nexus. If you're not aware of them, through Vortex you're able to upload a collection of mod packs with all the settings and all requirements, and people can use those, and it's supposed to help the player have a less trouble-free game. I personally, I think it's a disaster waiting to happen. That's my personal opinion. And I'm actually going to go into why now for many reasons. Okay, knowledge of a game is all relative. After 10 years of making mods, I can say I have a fair bit of knowledge of how mods interact, what I can get away with in terms of load order for a long playthrough, what I can't get away with, and I'm well aware of other authors' work.
Need some.
But let's start with the users. Users of
I'll
mods
head back home if you need
and the
me.
mod packs that they use and the load orders they present to you are only going to be as good as their knowledge.
I'm right behind you.
And they can run through their game and
I'll
they
head
can
back
play a
home if you
game,
need me.
and there'll be errors that they won't even pick up on, or they'll be content with, and they'll just blindside them in their minds. Do you know what I mean? And there is a big issue as well. Plus, first and foremost, a lot of users never read anything in detail anyway, or follow the length of instructions sometimes that's given by mod authors. So these packs are going to be dependent on the competency of users. And when other users come along and use them, and they're getting issues, or they're not following maybe even the pack instructions correctly, I mean, you can see what's going to happen here, because people are going to be expecting quick and easy gaming. And I'm going to tell you now, there's no such thing as quick and easy gaming. Not when you're modding. You want to just play the game at the base level, fine. Quick and easy gaming it is. But you want to start using a lot of mods. You want to start using extra scripts. You want to deploy lots of textures and use the resources on your engine and on your PC and the gaming engine, and pushing it to its limits. Well, it's not easy. It's very complicated, and it takes years of practice and ever growing knowledge. That's just the way it is. And I'm not even going to pretend to even state I know a percentage of what I probably need to know in truth. And I've done this for 10 years, gameplay and modding. There's just so much to it. It's unbelievable. That's what makes it so compelling. That's what makes this game so compelling, is because there is always something new to learn and something to do. So let's now move forward to author's work. I'm going to start with myself here first. Recently I removed some TPOS mods from Xbox and PC. As standalone mods, they worked absolutely fine. With TPOS, there was no conflicts or crossovers, yet, regardless of load order placement, they were problematic with TPOS mods and TPOS 2 V10. And even though there was no shared references, shared cells, so on and so forth. So, logically, there's an error in the base mod, isn't there, you'd think? If the game plays fine without those mods, then or obviously there might be a cross if there's no references and no other crossovers via Xedit, then you're coming back to that mod is what I'm trying to say here. And you can spend months trying to look for the solution and never find it. Just sometimes some mods, even though they may work well on their own, when they're placed with other mods, for some reason, even if they don't share any references, they just don't fit well with a load order. And so I accepted that with my work, and the mods that have done that I believe to be maybe a problem, or maybe somehow corrupted when saving or something, I don't know. Because like I say, there's nothing obvious. I removed them from Xbox and I removed them from PC. And with the mods that were left for TPS2 V10, my standalone mods, to go with TPS2 V10, like my Skyrim border hodes and so on, I went through them very carefully and made sure that they didn't have those same sort of issues. So the mods that remain with TPS2 V10 are pretty good within a large load order and on their own. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And with TPS2 V10. And I'm going to build some new mods to accompany V10 like I'm doing at the moment. I'm building new road travelers and Civil War units, standalone modules for TPS2 V10. And I'm also, if you look on YouTube, you'll see a video called The Great Hold of Haflingar. I'm doing Dragon Bridge, Solitude exterior and interior all rolled into one. Okay. So yeah, so there are, we're talking about mod packs, and I'm telling you why I've removed some of my mods recently in the last few months from Nexus and from PC, and sorry, from Xbox, for PC and for Xbox, these platforms. And the reason I did that is for the reasons that I've just stated. But now I'm going to get on to other authors' works, because there's a lot of other mods that are like that too, and a lot of other mods that stand alone on their own are problematic. They might look great, they might be great in many ways, but when you start adding them to a large load order, they become problematic. And I'm not going to name these mods. I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to use them. And even in this playthrough now, I have no other towns and city mods loaded. Because with the legacy of the Dragonborn, and with everything else I'm running, and with TPOS2, and because of the way the majority of those other mods are made, as the game progresses, they become problematic. They become problematic on their own and nothing else, some of these mods. Okay? I know, I've tested them. And that's why I intend for TPS2 users to build a complete series of mods that works well with TPS2 V10 and things like Legacy of the Dragonborn, okay, and stuff like that. If you're just using TPS2 V10 and none of my add-ons, you can use Immersive Citizens, you can use Cutting Room Floor, you can use Open Cities with just TPS2 V10 without any issues, okay? Once you start deploying my add-ons, those compatibilities go out the window. But what I'm getting at here is, in the future, and with the mod packs, everything that I will be making, it will be for the long-term use with TPS2 that will create a healthy mod pack for you that you can play a full playthrough, a long playthrough, hopefully without any issues. I'll show you all the textures I'm running, I'll give you the system specs that I'm running, and everything that you see will be there for you to run a game successfully. And again, I'm going to go further on into other mod uses and what to avoid when using TPS2. And I will just quickly say, before we get back into the dialogue of this quest, there are people that have tested TPS2 and TPS-C on Xbox and on PC over the years, and if you don't overload your game and if you run it sensibly, you can have a good playthrough. I actually took down a lot of videos off YouTube recently because they were no longer relevant to TPS2 V10. That's why I removed them, because they were all the 9 version. But what I'm saying is, in all those playthroughs, I never had any issues with TPS2 or all the other mods that I was running with it. I had problems with the old computer I was running, but that's changed now with this new PC setup I've got. So, you know, this series of Legacy of the Dragonborn is first and foremost, you know, sort of just, well, it's not, it is, you know, just honouring that mod and all the work that goes into it, and the mod authors, and, you know, all the great mod authors that make all these great mods. How to run all these great mods in relation to TPS2, and I'm also testing for future reference for the mod packs. So there's a lot of reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing with this particular video here. And these videos will come out, you know, maybe once a week, every 1.5 weeks I'll stick, you know, this video out. The shorts will, you know, there'll be a lot of shorts posted, because, you know, you can only post a minute at a time. So I'll post the most relevant bits of the quest stages for the shorts catalogue for people who want to watch those. But in terms of this big video here and future, you know, parts of it, you know, they'll come probably once a week. And again, you know, it's all about testing Legacy of the Dragonborn, making sure there's no issues with TPS2. Again, celebrating the 10-year anniversary of Skyrim, and sharing what I know about the world that I've inhabited for 10 years. And you might find that useful. You might not. You might like. You're going to like some of what I'm going to say. You're probably not going to like some of it as well. But that's the way the cookie crumbles, as they say. I'm going to be honest. I'll share what I know. And again, with this particular playthrough, it's heavily modded. I just haven't got the towns and cities modded because, quite simply, there is only 1 or 2 mods in certain areas that I would run that I consider healthy in relation to long playthroughs and what I would say complicated playthroughs with lots of other scripted mods, and mods like Legacy of the Dragonborn and TPOS. And also, again, some of it does come down to engine capacity and PC ability, as well as how good a mod is made. And as we go through this series, like I say, I'll share what the knowledge that I have, and I will start posting the new collection packs, you know, once that option's available in Vortex, and once, of course, when I've done all my testing and I'm sure of my ground, because of course I don't want to be posting anything that's going to cause users problems. But again, like I say, I mean, modern I found pretty much comes down to good common sense, patience and practice. And on that note, as we're coming to the next piece of dialogue with the curator of the museum, I'm going to cut off here, and I'll come back just at the end, just say goodbye to you all.
Greetings. Thanks for this. Thank you. Here's your reward. Ah, phenomenal. Let me have a look. Ah, yes. Exactly as described. Good work. Here's your pay. Very good. And in excellent condition, it seems. Wonderful. That is very impressive, my friend. You are certainly more than a mere treasure hunter. Which brings me to my next proposal. I'm in need of a full-time partner of sorts. A person of your caliber who can dedicate themselves to uncovering more lost artifacts and relics on their own, while I continue my research efforts. And you have proven yourself more than capable of the job.
And I think a special arrangement could work. Instead of me simply buying the relics off of you, perhaps you could bring them here, lend them to the museum. I'll give you an occasional finder's fee, and we'll safeguard your collection for you. You'll be able to access any and all of your collection as you see fit, and you'll know the rest of it will be safe in your absence. Excellent. Well, let me give you the 10 Septum tour, then.
This building was once called Maknarian Hall and was built as a temple dedicated to Talos, the patron god of the Nords. After the White Gold Concordat, however, the statue was moved and the temple closed. I came here a few years ago and was able to procure use of the space in the pursuit of establishing this museum. Of course, I have had the building vastly expanded over the last 2 years to accommodate what I hope will become one of the grandest collections of Tamrielic history in the world. This grand atrium I call the Hall of Heroes. It is where a variety of historically significant relics can be displayed, and is quite a striking entrance to the museum, if I do say so myself. Off to the right is the reception hall and staff barracks, as well as the museum office where I do much of my work. To our left you'll find the central hallway leading to all the other galleries of the museum, which also serves as the cultural arts exhibit. Here I hope to display a variety of art as well as elements representing the more primitive cultures here in Skyrim, such as the Falmer, Forsworn, the Giants, and more. Down here on the lower level you will find access to the East Exhibit Halls, which houses the Daedric Gallery, the Hall of Lost Empires, Hall of Oddities, and the Hall of Legends, which showcase a vast array of relics pertaining to the Daedra, Dwemer, Falmer, and ancient Nordic cultures, as well as a number of peculiar items that defy simple classification. At the close end of this hall, the stairwell will lead to the armories in the basement and up to the second floor. There you will find access to the Natural Science Gallery, as well as the Dragonborn Hall, where I will commission a variety of displays heralding any of your accomplishments. At the far end of the hallway on both floors, you'll find access to the Grand Library, and here, on this floor, the door on the right also connects to the museum office. If you cannot find me in my office, you will almost certainly find me whiling away the hours in the library. Also, you should pick up a copy of the museum guide at the entrance of the museum. It will let you know the schedule of where I'm working, should you need to find me, and it will offer you an easier way of navigating the museum, as well as keep track of how many displays our museum has. Of course, it may take me a moment to update those accounts, so check the guide again if you feel the numbers seem off. I'm sure I'll eventually account for everything. Any items you find for display, you can either manually place them yourself, or utilize the prep station in my office. And I'll ensure everything you have gets properly displayed if it has an appropriate place. I'm likely to have a variety of tasks for you, but in between, I'm sure you could help me find a random relic or two I've been researching. Feel free to look around and come find me if you have any questions. I'm very excited about the prospects of where we are headed. Oh, you're here. Oh yes, I have in fact been researching the location of an artifact of interest. If you have the time, you could investigate it. I'll mark the location on your map. Let me know if you uncover anything. Farewell. What can I do for you?
Very simple. You keep doing what you're doing and stop in here from time to time if you find anything interesting. Have a look around and find the spot to display it. In addition to displaying the spoils of your adventures, I will commission and build exhibits based on those exploits. Anything of relevant consequence can be inspiring to
Okay, so once again, you know, that's quite a lot of information there, folks. I hope you find it useful. And again, we'll progress with the legacy of the Dragonborn questline. We'll see how it works with TPS2 V10. Please support the efforts here. comment, share, like, all that sort of stuff. I'd really appreciate it, okay? The next video will probably be coming in about a week's time about that. I hope you've enjoyed it. Like I say, post your comments, give me your thoughts, let me know what you think, and we'll get deeper into it next time round. This really is an introduction. I'll leave it there. I hope you like what you've seen. I'm Nesbit. You're the People of Skyrim. Good gaming, folks.